Hello, this is Ernest Mast, President and CEO of Doré Copper Mining Corp. I'm here to give a presentation for the New York City One-to-One Mining Investment Conference being held virtually at the end of April 2021. I will be making forward-looking statements during this presentation. The company is looking to develop a series of underground copper gold assets located in northern Quebec around the town of Chibougamau. These copper gold assets, along with the mill and our tailings facility, are all past producing, making this a hub and spoke operation. The mines are high grade and they do have expansion potential. And when we put a few of the mines in operation, we're looking to produce approximately 100,000 ounces per year of gold equivalent, or 60 million pounds per year of copper equivalent. The company has assembled a strong leadership team and board of directors with experience in underground mining, in copper gold mining, in Quebec. And the founders of the company, myself, Ewan Downey, and Mario Stefano, are still heavily involved with the day-to-day and strategic operation of the company. The company was formed as a private co in 2017. We did some drilling as a private company and convinced ourselves that, in fact, there was still a lot of exploration potential in this area. So we went public towards the end of 2019. During 2020, we successfully raised funds and did 27,000 meters of drilling at the Corner Bay, Cedar Bay, and Joe Mann properties. This drilling continues into 2021, and we look forward to issuing updated resource statements and looking to do a PEA prior to the end of the year. The capital structure is quite tight, with about 53 million shares outstanding. Cash on hand is approximately $15 to $16 million, and there is no debt. The largest shareholder of the company is Ocean Partners. We acquired the assets from Ocean Partners for 30% of our company, and that is the reason why they are the largest shareholder. The rest of the shareholders are a series of institutions. One of the significant institutions involved in the company are a series of Quebec funds showing support from the Quebec government. Retail ownership is approximately 40%, and so the stock is tightly held, but we are getting an uptick in volume as we've seen increased interest in the company with the increase in the copper price. We do believe the company is involved with two excellent commodities, being copper and gold. On the copper side, we see a fundamental deficit building in the copper markets of approximately 5 million tons by the end of the decade. This is due to depletion of existing mines and the continued use of copper in infrastructure and the electrification of the transportation industry. On the gold side, gold remains at near historic high levels, and quantitative easing and other financial initiatives by governments will continue to support the gold in a very low interest environment. And just to touch a little bit upon the use of copper in the transportation industry, copper hybrid and electric vehicles is 2 to 3.5 times more prevalent than in a typical internal combustion vehicle. And we have seen numerous auto manufacturers and jurisdictions declare that by 2030 or by 2040, they're going to have electrification of the transportation industry. The company's assets are located on 10,700 hectares of land in Chibougamau, Quebec. This is located 500 kilometers north of Montreal. The company has 12 deposits. Some and most are past producing mines. In this presentation, I'll focus on a few of them, and these are the deposits that are most likely to become producing mines. Historically, our deposits produced 1.6 billion pounds of copper and 4.4 million ounces of gold in their operations starting in the 1950s. And we do believe there are still significant resources available still to be mined. One of the characteristics that the company has with its deposits is high grade. We can see on the left-hand graph in green that the copper equivalent of the Corner Bay and Cedar Bay deposits is one of the highest of undeveloped underground deposits. And on the gold side, the gold grades of a couple of our deposits compare very favorably with the highest grade gold mines in Canada. In addition, the company has infrastructure in place. In addition, the company has its assets close to a mining center being Chibougamau, Quebec. So we will be a commuter type operation. And finally, because of all those elements, we anticipate low capital intensity at the time of having to rebuild the projects. I'll talk about a couple of the projects briefly. The first one is the Corner Bay deposit. This deposit currently has 3 million tons of resource at nearly 3.5% copper. The deposit contained 1.5 million tons when we acquired it in 2017, and our exploration efforts so far has doubled the deposits. This mine was essentially built in 2008 by a previous operator where they implemented 2 kilometers of tunnels, took a 40,000 ton bulk sample and developed up to 3 levels. So this mine is ready to dewater and commence operations when we see is the right time. And here we see a long section of the deposit where in orange or in beige is the current 3 million ton resource. And in blue is areas that we anticipate will be extension to the resource that we drilled in 2020. And in 2021, we're drilling in certain areas where the deposit's open, looking to further expand the deposit. The Joe Mann deposit, this was a past producing gold mine that operated from the 1950s to 2007, having produced 1.2 million ounces of gold at 8.26 grams per ton. After the mine closed, a exploration program was put in place underneath the main vein, and the mineralization, it was discovered that the mineralization continued at depth. I'd like to mention that we have an option agreement on this deposit where there are $3 million remaining to pay and $1.5 million of shares. This option agreement expires in January 2023. Here we see a long section of the Joe Mann deposit, and you can see that our drilling in 2020 extended the west zone down by about 100 meters with an intercept of 4 meters at 10.3 grams. And then on the main vein, we tied in the previous mine workings with those higher grade intercepts from 2008 after the mine closed. So there's a lot of potential here at Joe Mann to continue to grow the deposit below the lowest mining level. The shaft goes to a depth of 1,145 meters. Another area that we drilled at Joe Mann was the far west zone, where we had a number of intercepts, including 3 meters at 10 grams per ton and 0.4 meters at 40 grams per ton gold. And in that area, we're currently resampling the core to understand the nuggety nature of that deposit. Our immediate plans for Joe Mann are to dewater the mine and look to drill from underground. That's going to be a lot more efficient than if we were to continue to drill from surface. But for sure, this deposit has high-grade gold with some copper. I should mention also that the deposit between 2004 and 2007 was treated in our copper rand mill, and so it's compatible with the Corner Bay ore. Other deposits which we have, which due to time constraints, I won't talk about in this little presentation, but feel free to contact us for more information. This is the Cedar Bay deposit, which was a past producing mine that produced 3.9 million tons at 1.63% copper and 3.2 grams gold. Currently has a resource of 360,000 tons at 8.7 grams per ton gold and 1.9% copper. And it has a number of lenses that are open for exploration. And the Copper Rand deposit, which is adjacent to Cedar Bay, was the largest deposit in the camp, having produced 1.5 million ounces of gold and 500 million pounds of copper. The deposit is open at depth, and there's some large panels within the upper part of the mine that are open. And grades here are typically a little under 2% copper and a little under 3 grams per ton gold. Our intention isn't to start immediately with Copper Rand, however, it will find itself into the mine plan. Very important to show the location of the mill, which is located only 14 kilometers by road from the town of Chibougamau. The mill closed in 2007 and has capacity of 2,700 tons per day. Located less than 2 kilometers from the mill is the tailings facility, which we sample on a weekly basis, and water quality is excellent. The tailings facility has 8 million tons of capacity. left over. The mill and the tailings facility were past permitted, and we're currently looking at what's the best way to revive the existing permits in combination with the new mine permits that we would require. Very key to the successful hub and spoke operation is the relationship with our stakeholders. The First Nations group that we're going to be working with is the Cree of Chibougamau, who are very experienced with resource development. We currently also have strong support from Quebec funds. The Quebec government is very well established and it's dealing with mining projects like ourselves. And Quebec has other organizations such as Plan Nord, SOCIM, and the James Bay Development Society to also help projects such as ours. So we're very well supported being in the province of Quebec. We're fully funded to complete our PEA by the end of this year. The critical path will be the continued drilling and resource calculations, and then we'll commence the required engineering studies. And during 2022, we plan on continuing along the same lines, but just doing work in more detail that would bring us to eventually to a bankable study whereby we could start to build the mines and restart the camp. So in a nutshell, what the company has done is it's assembled a very large land package with past producing copper gold mines of very good grade. And also we have the infrastructure in order to start up the mines with low capital intensity. To recreate that type of asset base would be almost impossible to do. And we look at the value of what we already have in the ground in terms of the development and the infrastructure as being worth over a few $100 million, making the company extremely inexpensive at the current market cap of approximately $45 to $50 million. So we plan on drilling the assets, continuing to grow the resource base so that we can put together a restart plan with a hub and spoke operation at a very competitive capital cost. And our goal would be to put in an operation where we would produce 100,000 ounces per year of gold equivalent or 60 million pounds per year of copper equivalent. So that's the presentation. I thank you for taking the time for watching it. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me at emast@dorecopper.com, and you can find more information on our website. Thank you very much.